Welcome to our video edition of Learn with LBSi for the month of February 2021 on managing service calls in SAP Business One. We are going to cover equipment card overview, service call overview, creating service calls, updating service calls. If your company provides support services to its customers or receives support services from your vendors, you can manage all activities related to these services using the Service module in SAP Business One. For example, you can manage the interaction between service representatives and business partners. You're able to maintain information on service contracts, items, and serial numbers, as well as customers' complaints and inquiries. You are able to monitor and manage the activities of your service department by using standard and custom reports that assist managers and support staff with their daily work. You are able to optimize the potential of your sales and service departments and generate additional revenue by supporting business functions such as service operations, service planning, tracking of customers' interaction activities, customer support, management of sales opportunities. You're also able to create a knowledge base of solutions for issues raised by your customers. You can manage this knowledge base according to your items. Therefore, when a certain problem reoccurs, you can reduce the time required to solve it by searching for solutions by item. A service call enables you to resolve complaints or inquiries and deal with item-related problems. Equipment cards form the database that contains all serial number items for which service can be physically provided. A service contract is a formal or legally binding agreement that defines the services that are exchanged for payment. It enables a business partner to receive service for specific items and serial numbers. A service queue enables you to categorize and manage service calls. For example, you can set up service queues for individual business partners for categories of items or teams in your service department. Reports enable you to view and analyze data related to the service contracts, equipment cards, and service calls. You can check service calls of individual sales representatives or those reported by certain customers. You can evaluate the efficiency and the performance of your company's services operation. Let's get started. After logging into SAP Business One, navigate to the main menu and click on Service module. Here, we will do an overview of the equipment card, followed by the service call overview. By clicking the equipment card menu, the equipment card window appears. The equipment card forms the database that contains all serial number items that you sold or purchased and for which service can be provided. You can track the history of a specific serial number from the day you sold or purchased the item and throughout its entire service period. The equipment card contains information such as location of the item at which you provide the service or receive service. You have the following options for creating equipment cards. You are able to enable equipment cards to be created automatically for every sold or purchased item that is managed by serial numbers. This can be accomplished by navigating to Modules, Administration, System Initialization, General Settings, and clicking on Inventory. Clicking on the Items tab, here you have that the unique serial numbers by, and you're able to make the selection from either a manufacturer serial number, a serial number, or a lot number, and having the Auto Create Equipment Card checked. This will create automatically equipment cards that are processed from creating an AR invoice or delivery for an item with serial number management. SAP Business One creates a corresponding equipment card automatically. The manufacturer serial number and the serial number values for this item are taken from the serial record recorded in the inventory transaction. The other option is to manually create the equipment card. In that case, you would manually enter all the information related to the equipment card to be created. For our example, we will find an equipment card and see the information related to the header information and also the footer information. By changing from an add mode to a find mode and selecting serial number, we are going to search for A6-000310. By clicking enter or clicking find, the equipment card shows up related to a Rainbow 1200 laser series. The business partner code is microchips, as seen on the business partner and business partner name. We have here also the contact person and the technician that is specifically scheduled for this item. We are currently seeing that the status is active and there are no previous or new serial numbers for the item. On the footer information, on the address tab, we see the address and location fields. Under service call tab, we see information related to previous created service calls for the item. On 12/14, there was an installation call that was entered into the system. The specific service call can be selected by clicking on the golden arrow of the call number 22. We'll verify more information related to the service call in just a moment. On the Service Contracts tab, we're able to see the connected service contract number 29 that started on the same date, December 14th. The service type is a warranty service contract. On Sales Data tab, we're able to see the buyer code, name, the delivery number, and the invoice number related to the purchase of this item. Under Transactions, we are able to see the inventory transactions that relates to the item. In this case, when it was purchased and when it was sold to microchips. The last tab is the Attachments tab. Here's where you're able to attach any files that could be an Excel, Word, or PDF files. As we return to the Equipment Card Service Calls tab, you are able to see that on the bottom right, there is a button that says You Can Also. In the You Can Also button, you are able to view related service calls or create a new service call. When selected Create New Service Call, all the information that we saw from the equipment card is brought over to the service call window. At the top, we see that the service call type is a sales, as we have sold this item to a customer, microchips, with the contact person Judy Brown. The serial number, item, and description is shown on the service call itself. Currently, the call status is open and it has a priority set as low. On the call status window, we are able to drop down and select different statuses. The options by default are closed, open, pending, and you are also able to define new call status by clicking in Define New. You're able to type in new call status information and its description. Make sure to say it's active to show in the drop-down. Currently, we'll set it to open. Under priority, the same drop-down exists. The system by default shows low, medium, or high. We'll leave it as high priority for this call. Some of the requirements for the call to exist is a subject line. In the General tab, we have to specify the origin of the service call. From the drop-down, by default, we have email, telephone number, web, or you're able to define a new origin. From problem type, currently we only have install. You are able to define new problem types by clicking Define New, entering a code and a description. From a problem subtype, currently we only have new machine. You are able to create and define new problem subtypes by clicking Define and New. You would enter a code and a description. On the call type, we currently have installation. You are able to define a new call type by clicking Define New, entering a code and a description. Under Technician, you are able to select the specific technician you like to assign to this call. Currently, we will send Julie Bowens. Under Partner tab, you have the Ship to and Bill to information. If you use SAP territories, you're also able to include the territory for this particular business partner. We also have the contact person, phone number, and email address. Under Remarks, you're able to include any remarks you feel it's feasible for the service call. In Activities tab, once the call is open, use this tab to specify new activities and to display existing activities such as tasks, meetings, phone calls, related to the service call. In the Solutions tab, you are able to recommend or create new solutions. If you click Recommend, you are able to then click on Find and toggle within your green arrows to find a particular solution or symptom that the service call pertains to. In this example, we have a color rendering style selection does not change how colors appear on the output. If I were to select OK, the choice is taken to the service call itself. This is now the solution being provided to the customer. Under Related Documents, as we create invoices, for example, related to expenses, those documents or related documents are going to add to this window. By clicking on the Details button, you are able to create a new document that is related to either an inventory transfer or expense details for the service call. By clicking the New Document, you'll be able to review document types such as AR documents, AP documents, or all documents. By selecting all documents, all choices become available. To create an inventory transfer from the warehouse to the technician, select the Transferred to Technician. To create an inventory transfer from the technician to the warehouse, select Returned from Technician. Otherwise, select Other Documents in order to create the appropriate document for the service call. As an example, we are able to create an AR invoice for the time that the technician took to finish the call. By selecting AR invoice and selecting OK, we see that microchips and Judy Brown are already brought up in the AR invoice window. Next, select the labor entry information for the item code and say Choose. Correct the quantity and the dollar amounts. We'll type in call 22 as this is related to call 22, and we'll add such AR invoice to the service call. Here we see the tech labor for 1 hour being invoiced, and we'll say Update to save. By having saved the AR invoice, we see the AR invoice 1076 connected to the related documents for the service call number 22. We will click Update to save the information. Under Resolution, before you close the call, it is required to provide a resolution of the service call. The resolution is typed into this field. Under History, we are able to see the information related to the updates of the call that took place during the period that it was open until it was closed. In the Scheduling tab, you are able to enter the start and end time related to the service call. You are able to set a reminder and also display in the calendar. If you do say Display in Calendar, it will show in the SAP for the user. The meeting location field, street address, and room is also added if needed. Under Attachments, if you have Excel, Word, or PDF documents, these can be added per call. Returning to the General tab, if you're satisfied with the service call, we are able to then add the service call to the system. We're able to return to the last data record, and here we can see that the service call for Judy Brown and microchips related to the Rainbow 1200 laser series is currently open and ready for dispatch. Now that the technician has given us the resolution related to the service call, we are able to close it. To do so, we will navigate to the Resolution tab, type in the resolution provided by the technician, which is Printer Reset to Factory Default, working without issues. Once we have that entered into the system, we will change the call status to Closed and update the service call. The service call is now closed and no issue is further remaining. Which brings us to the tip of the day. Tip of the day: using the notification bar as a reference footer for fast information. Select the information you want to see on the reference footer of the window, click and hold until you see a black rectangle around the field, and then you drag it to the appropriate footer field of your choice. In this example, we have Contact ID, Position, Email, and Account Balance. By opening a document, you will now see that the selected information is now found on the footer for easy information. We have the name Daniel Brown, his email, his position, and the overall account balance. Equipment card and service calls are a few of many tools that SAP Business One offers to automate and make your service processes faster and easier. Join us as we help you learn more about SAP Business One has to offer by clicking the subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on the notifications bell so you never miss a new video. As an SAP Gold Partner, LBSi can help you take full advantage of everything the system has to offer. To get in contact with us, visit our website at www.lbsi.com and navigate to the contact link. You can also email us at sales@lbsi.com for sales-related inquiries, or sapsupport@lbsi.com if you're an existing client in need of support assistance.